Hey guys, Tom here. Welcome back to another video on the Racing Joker channel. Today I'm gonna approach this carefully and try and stay monetized. I think we'll be fine. We got some old 1320 video content to go over, but I also wanted to talk about how I'm a little surprised that this kind of content hasn't had kind of a resurgent return. Content being like how you get 9 or 10 years ago, where you'd have scantily clad women in fast cars reacting and just kind of trying to, I guess, play into the hornier part of the car community. I don't know. I guess most of the car community is full of a bunch of horn dogs or something, but this used to be everywhere for like 2 or 3 years, I feel like, and then it all just kind of disappeared. But now with the rise of OnlyFans and a newfound societal respect for sex workers, I'm surprised this hasn't come back, because even though it might be cringe to a lot of people, I feel like it almost makes a lot of sense. And being some of the first people to do it now, you could really bank on it and make some money off of it. Because honestly, even though it's a bit kind of cringe and weird, obviously, to kind of have that approach to car content, but if you do it right, you could probably get a crap ton of views and make a lot of money. So I can't really judge people for it. So I mean, because we got videos from 9 years ago in a 1600 horsepower Lamborghini Gallardo, classic. But then we've got a video from 1 month ago from Josh Laurent called OnlyFans Girls Ride on My Lamborghini, not in, for food date. This happened. So we're going to kind of watch a couple examples from 9 years ago with 18 million views, and then we'll kind of touch on the only modern equivalent I've really found from any kind of big-ish current YouTubers now. I say big-ish. I've got only 60-something thousand subscribers. He's got 300, so he's doing a bit better than me. But anyways, let's kind of go over this, compare, talk about it, and you guys discuss in the comments, and I'll respond too. Is this something that, from a business standpoint, as a YouTuber, would it be smart to try this? Would you recommend this to some of the more smaller channels and say, hey, if you've got a fast car, maybe hire a chick to do this, go for a ride or whatever, and make a video out of it, have some GoPros. You might make some money and get some easy views, and then people stick around for the rest of your content. Because it's not like people are going to stick around to see more of that, right? Because that wouldn't make sense, because you're really just in it for the cars. This will just kind of boost hopefully your visibility compared to all the other car content? I don't know. The YouTube algorithm is really kind of freaking weird these days. I'm gonna be honest, because it never recommends the stuff I actually want. So I never use the recommended page anymore, because it doesn't understand that all of my subscriptions are either to do with long-form content, gaming, and cars, but it decides to recommend SpongeBob memes to me, which are most of the time funny. Not what I prefer, is just what I click on, because that's all I get. I'm rambling. So, scantily clad women, let's do this. Ah, yes. 1320 videos old intro. That's nostalgic. They're in a Supra too, which is always fun. That was back when I was a much bigger fan of the A80 Supra. Now I'm kind of not so much anymore. I like it, but not really willing to buy one. Is that a 5.0? That's a 5.0 twin turbo. That's gonna sound good.
So what's the fastest you've been in a car so far?
Probably 100.
100?
This is the part I usually skip.
You've been in a Lambo before?
Maybe never. It's my first time.
Really? Awesome. What do you think about it?
Man just is in the background trying to boast about his car a little. It's a Super Leggera. That's pretty nice. Maybe 200. But this is the 5.0 with an E-gear, right? Or does Underground Racing change the transmission and upgrade it once they go past the 1600 horsepower mark? I feel like that E-gear would start to freak out just a little bit.
It's beautiful. I love it. Now I need one for myself. I need one to match my outfit. So I just get, like, cheated.
What, like a leopard print fucking Lamborghini? I'm sure it's been done, actually. I take that back. I was about to be like, that'll never happen. But no, I've seen worse than that. You go right ahead, Kayla. Check what her name was. Good old GoPro microphones with all the vibrations and noise. That jump was just the downshift. Jesus! Looked like he was trying to break her spine. I just noticed. Oh, I guess because the Superleggera, it's the lightweight version, but look at that! Carbon fiber doors. Kinda cool. Sorry, I'm focusing more on the car. Woohoo! Ooh, we like flames. Okay, he went through a few gears. They're moving. They are moving. There is no... I think they just went 180 right there. Those gear changes as well, they're violent. That's not a dual clutch. That's old school. You know, the only question I really have to ask about her is she wearing hair extensions? Because there's something off about her hair. Because it just looks like her hair was cut. It just looks like her hair was cut strangely. This is the content you were expecting in this video, right? This is what we're gonna be talking about. Anyways. Man. I think the idea of having like a 1,000 horsepower twin turbo Huracan would be so cool, but I don't know how reliable they are. Because I love the idea of having something like a Huracan that you can drive cross country. Because stock, you can definitely do that. Supercharged, you can definitely do that, and it should be pretty darn reliable. But turbos are just a little bit more special, but I feel like you sacrifice a fair bit of reliability. Like, all I'd want is maybe 1,000 horsepower, because the chassis and all that can take it, more so than most other cars. And you get all the fun turbo noises, but then I want to just drive it and beat the snot out of it. So I don't know if... I guess underground racing cars are kind of built for that. I think it's their Stage 3 kit. That's a little over 1,000 wheel horsepower on 93, because I think they have to modify the engine and stuff like that. I don't know. I can dream. One day, hopefully before I'm 50. Definitely by the time I'm 50, at the very least, but hopefully sooner. Not to be that guy, but that Super sounds kind of nice. Is that made of glass or is that plastic? Because it's kind of amazing it's not shattering.
Doing a couple of these pulls, did you feel like it was almost going to be as good as sex?
Very close.
Really?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. Felt that power?
I did. I felt it.
Yeah.
They could have talked about anything. Anything but that. That's just... I wasn't even thinking about that. I feel like with the... As broad as the English language is, I'm sure we could find a way to more eloquently describe the sensation of being in a fast car for the first time without bringing up something as basic as sex. Because I'm gonna be perfectly honest, sex doesn't come to mind ever for me when I'm in a fast car as a passenger or a driver. So that's a little bizarre. I would actually be a little concerned if that came to mind ever for you. So that's just strange.
We tape a $100 bill to the dash, and if you can grab it, it's yours.
Up here?
Yeah, right on the dash there.
Now, I'd never heard of this game before until I saw this video. Granted, it was like 9 years ago when I saw this video, so I've known about it since. But I feel like you gotta kind of modify the rules for a little bit, because the way they do it, I think, is they do it whenever the car is accelerating. But I feel like you gotta put a time limit on it, because eventually, once you start, unless if your torque is constant the whole time, eventually, as you're starting to reel out the gears longer and longer, she's gonna have a chance to, you know, reach forward to it. It's that initial acceleration that makes the game difficult and fun. I don't know. I remember them making it too easy for her. Well, I have annotations don't work anymore, 1320. You can tell this is a video from 9 years ago. What year? 2013, man. I'm in Singapore at this time. That's hilarious. Left England, went to Singapore. Okay, here we go.
This is the sound of underground.
I don't remember that. Did Underground Racing ask them to put their intro into 1320's video? That's funny. I don't remember that at all. I remember the UGR intro. I don't remember it being in any of 1320 videos content. I think they still use that intro today, which is gotta respect him for that.
Put your arms out, just straight out. All right, that should make you work for it.
You gotta use all your ab power. Lots of ab.
Kyle, you dirty man. I gotta respect the hustle. I think it's, I don't even walk around with $100 bills anymore, man. I don't walk around with money. That sounds so good. Man, that even firing V10. Like, the 5.2 Huracan and the 5.2 Gallardos, they all sound cool with the odd firing V10s, but man, I just, a big part of me also wishes that the Huracan still sounded like that. It's such a good noise. I mean, it sounds like the LFA and the Carrera GT, but you don't have to spend LFA money or Carrera GT money. It's pretty remarkable. I mean, yeah, there's also modern Ferraris, but I don't want a Ferrari. The only Ferrari I'd be tempted by is a 488 Pista, but I'm really not tempted to get into Ferraris. I'm getting the impression when it comes to modern Ferraris and personalizing them. So, I didn't come up with this, but it's been described to me on more than one occasion that Ferrari is the HOA of the car manufacturer world. That of all the car manufacturers, Ferrari is like an HOA. And from what I've seen, that's kind of true. McLaren's had a few hiccups too, but whatever. I don't know, I'm just a Lambo guy. It's not as pretentious. They don't take themselves too seriously, while still having self-respect, obviously. That sounds so good. The seatbelt is stopping her, isn't it? Are those carbon fiber seats stock, or are those from UGR?
I know, I would have, but the seatbelt was like, it was locked.
Here, take the seatbelt and put it like behind the body.
Oh, okay.
Now, if we die at 180 miles an hour, reason why is on camera. If anything, the camera's gonna get lodged into your f***ing face, but that's okay. Content. You really don't see this anymore. It's kind of interesting. I'm really, when you think about it, it's really shocking that this doesn't really exist anymore. Can we just appreciate how fucking fast that car accelerates? It disappeared. It's in another country now. That's insane. And yes, the country they went to is Mexico. I ain't saying anything. I feel like that BMW on the right is trying to race with them. Because watch, the Supra starts accelerating, but the BMW, they don't fly past the BMW. Watch this. I think the BMW started accelerating. Yeah, look. You can see the stuff coming out of the exhaust. An easy $100. I don't think they made that hard enough for her. Okay, so that's probably enough of that, because we've been looking at this stuff for 20 minutes. Jesus Christ. I ramble. Now, let's go to the modern equivalent. So here we got Josh Laurent, who is a rising YouTuber, it would seem. I mean, he's doing already, maybe not rising, but he's doing pretty good. And he's playing the YouTube game, doing his thing. And he has got a couple of, I'll say, alleged OnlyFans girls. I have not confirmed if they actually have an OnlyFans. I'll just take his word for it. Because I think at least one of these girls has a recurring kind of appearance pattern on his channel, so she could be an OnlyFans girl, or just an associate that was willing to do this with him. I mean, why not? It was probably kind of fun, but so I think what he's gonna do in this video is he's gonna take the car through a drive-through instead of driving it backwards or doing anything like how other YouTubers do, or taking like a JDM car that's right-hand drive and making a spectacle out of it, or whatever people have done in the past. He's going to have them sit on his car in scantily clad outfits and see if he gets any reactions. Let's see. I'm gonna be disappointed if he doesn't actually get any reactions.
We about to go get some food, get something to eat. All
right. Fair enough. I don't actually like videos much, but I'm on camera. Josh, if you're watching, don't claim me.
What are you doing?
I'm making TikToks.
You ready?
What is that light sticking off the top of her phone? That's like freaking bright, man. Also, that wing doesn't look like the sadistic wing Damon had on his first Tire Slayer. It looks actually looks kind of bigger. Sorry, Damon. It looks a little bigger. I mean, his Ken Block tribute Super Trofeo is pretty damn cool. So I think he's probably doing just fine. It's a sick car. What did she say? Did she say sorry, Dad? Hi, Dad. Look at that freaking diffuser, my boy. Look at that exhaust too. That's like a that looks like a 765 LT exhaust almost.
You gotta stop. Josh, you gotta stop driving. They're trying to take their pants off.
His face like, nice Lancer over there.
We're in and out right now.
In and out. Okay, maybe it's unintentional, but that's a good choice of place to go to for content like this.
This is fun.
This is fun.
So the people, if you see this out in public, because where I live, you don't see influencers wandering around. You don't see influencers anywhere. It's just not a thing that happens out here on the border of the ghetto in the middle of the Midwest, on the other side of the river where St. Louis is. So you gotta wonder, you know, if you're just going to get some food and you're going back to your car or whatever, or you're heading inside to get some dinner, and you see this going down, what's the appropriate response? Do you look? Do you take a picture? Is that creepy if you do? What's correct here? Like, do you avoid eye contact and be like, if I stare, I'm a misogynist? Or is it kind of like, I don't know. It might be a good question to ask. I do want to go to LA and film some content, or at least, I don't know, Cali at some point. I feel like I kind of have to. That's where you go to make car content these days. My man's just doing his job. How could he possibly hear them? That car has got to be so loud. Oh, is that wing from MFR? I just saw MFR in the bumper sticker.
This is so heat. We are lit right now. This happened you one-on-one. What is Champ doing? Champ caught in the line.
I feel like when it comes to bad drivers, people always say this state is terrible and this state's terrible. I'm pretty sure everywhere is just terrible. I haven't been to a single state as a truck driver where people aren't morons. I go to multiple states throughout the week. I've traveled to many countries. Stupid is a global pandemic that we are not willing to solve because it would take drastic measures to fix it. Let me tell you.
We're just trying to get the sign and the building and the reactions of the people.
No one's reacting yet.
Yeah, I want to see the reactions. They're probably hilarious.
I don't even eat In-N-Out. I just brought them here because they like In-N-Out. You know, I don't eat In-N-Out. I'm a McDonald's type of guy. Y'all know me. So I just, you know, I have to bring them here. You know.
I'm kind of amazed he can stay so skinny eating McDonald's. I eat McDonald's and I just blow up like a blimp. I'm like the Hindenburg. I'm made of hydrogen. I just am this close to exploding. No. How did I describe myself? Oh yeah, I'm like a star about to turn into a black hole. If you add just a little bit more mass to me, I'll just collapse. Even light cannot escape me.
Oh my god.
Rock and roll, guys.
Well, I mean, I'm not actually nude, so what can the cops do? Because if it's just a bikini outfit, it's technically not indecent exposure, but it could still be something to do with filming on private property, not public property anyways. Maybe. I don't know. I don't feel like they're doing anything illegal.
Why did I just get wet?
Because we're on Josh's car.
Oh, you're right, you're right.
Josh.
So, sweet Jesus.
Oh, I got the prize.
What was he doing? I didn't see what the guy in the window was doing. These guys are just doing their jobs. They're just unfazed. Oh, he was just leaning on the window. I feel like maybe because it's Cali, they're not getting very animated reactions. Maybe I was about to say maybe if I were to do this, I think you would be reading about my murder in the news. If reading about the it doesn't matter. I would be dead. But I feel like you need to do this in a place where influencers are not so prevalent. And you might actually get some really good reactions where, like, in, like, a small town or, like, I don't know, just the Midwest, maybe. I'm just thinking of where I live would be the way to do it. Because you might get some actual good reactions. Have, like, cause a bit more, I don't know, outrage. I feel like this is pretty vanilla for California. It's not a bad video idea. I'm actually kind of surprised he's only got 10,000 views, to be perfectly honest. I feel like going through all this effort, but that's how YouTube is. You could be making quality content, put in tons of hours of work and effort and energy, and get f*** all for it. That's just the game. YouTube does not care. They're really pushing for the short form content these days, and I hate making short form content. I like your roof, sir. This is sick. I kind of want something like this in a Huracan myself. This looks cool. What is it called? The Starry roof liner? Is that something that... Is it like a Rolls-Royce thing? So I think that's probably enough of that. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about content like this. Should it have a resurgent return, a massive influx of YouTubers trying to jump on a bandwagon all together all at once and try and recreate this kind of decade-old phenomena, form of content, whatever, and see if you can't get some views, get some traction for your channel? Or is it kind of like, it's too cringe, find another way, and all that sort of stuff? Because while I did say earlier in the video, people are having this newfound respect for sex workers, obviously being a little too flagrant about making your influencer content out in public, people are always kind of gonna judge you for it. This is not so weird. It's not like they're blocking traffic, take a topless selfie or something like that. This is kind of harmless and just kind of funny. Well, I do wish Josh got more reactions. I feel like he deserved good reactions. I don't know, still a good video. Anyways, I mostly made this video just so I can discuss it with you guys. And, you know, mainly to kind of talk about the past versus present and see what you guys think is going to happen. Like, do you guys agree that it's weird that this is not more common? Because I think it's weird. Oh well. Anyways, I'm Tom the Racing Joker. If you like what you've seen so far on this channel and you're not subscribed yet, that sounds like a you problem. So fix yourself, hit that subscribe button, because you'll like what I got planned. Anyways, stay legendary, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.